channel, or welcome back to the channel, hopefully. Something I realized the other day, the car that we have on our logo on the channel, and one that we've had on quite a few videos here lately, you probably don't know much about. So thought I'd do an introductory video on that. Quite honestly, when we started this channel, I wasn't really planning on having it on very much, but you know the way life is, this needed some attention, and I thought I'd make some content for you guys. Let's try it again.
Okay.
I thought we'd make some content for you guys. Dylan's running the camera for me today, so he can follow me around as I explain what's up with this Crusty 70 Monte Carlo. And no, I don't want to name it Crusty. One of these days it's going to be nice, but right now I need to use it. So anyway, Dylan, if you can come on around. We'll start with the interior. Not one of its best ones, but I have done some improvements. One of the things, I don't know if you can lean in, and it has an in-dash tachometer, and it's got full factory gauges that were available at the factory. I've had to add some gauges. I've got a water temp, even though the water temp here doesn't work accurately because I need to change out the resistor on that so it'll work accurately. But right now I rely on my auto meter gauge, and I've got oil pressure also, which the factory never had oil pressure, just the oil light, which I don't trust. I've changed over to taking out it has tilt wheel. Really like that. But I took out the cigarette lighter and the added in power outlets, and it also serves as my voltmeter. Now, I had to replace the dash on this because the other one cracked, and not just the dash pad, the dash itself cracked. So got a good deal on a used one that already had the cutout for the DIN sized stereo, so it wasn't me that did it, guys. But so I got a nice Alpine unit. It's got Bluetooth, and I've also added vintage air, which doesn't work right now. All the tests I've done, it needs the ECU that runs it, and that is currently on back order as we're making this. So I hope to have that sometime next month, supposedly. This used to be a bench seat car. I added buckets. Have yet to put a console in it. One day I will get rid of the column shift, and we'll do a nice floor shift. I haven't decided if I'm going to do the B&M shifter, which I really like. I've got it on another car, the Quicksilver for the factory console, or if I'm going to just do the normal factory looking shifter. And right now we've got a very bad back seat. I need to replace that, recover it, and also I call them the earmuffs. It goes in between the seat and the headliner. And then of course the package panel, which I had replaced at one time, sun damage took care of that. Anyway, enough about the interior. As you can see, it used to be gold. And the reason I'm going to point that out is I will show you a picture of what this car used to look like. It didn't always look like this. I've actually owned it for about 30 years. And Dylan took his driving test in this. Little known fact.
Twice.
And I also, years ago, taught Dylan how to get unstuck out of getting stuck in the snow. I'd forgotten about that until we just talked about it. Anyway, this is the part most people are interested in, and it is the most fun. Originally, this car was a 400 small block, yet now some people don't like the 400 small block. It did very well. The nearest I could tell, it went through 3 rebuilds. I did 1 rebuild, its final one, and the block lasted for 120,000 miles before it finally expired, so it did very well. But it was actually cheaper to swap in the big block because I had some of the parts laying around, and it was kind of what I wanted anyway. As you could see, even though this looks like crap, this engine compartment was, as far as I'm concerned, designed for a big block Chevy. I have done some upgrades to that also, and this is why I wrote stuff down. Memory isn't what it used to be. This is basically a truck engine that I got from a friend of mine, and the changes I've made to it are, it's got a Voodoo camshaft in it, and Voodoo Lunati no longer makes camshafts. If you can find one, great. I'm really happy with it, but there will be other camshafts that are similar out there. It's going to be within a couple of horsepower of what this is. So I'll give you the part number in the description. I'll give you the numbers that everyone seems to be interested in right now. 542 lift on the intake, 554 lift on the exhaust. The advertised duration is 268 and 276 respectively. The duration at 50, which is the most important, is 227 and 233 on the intake and the exhaust. And very, very nice camshaft. Personally, it's the most I would probably do for any type of daily driver, but depends on what you can handle. The rest of the combination is, I've got an Edelbrock Performer air gap intake, excellent intake, and it does fit, even though I have a 1/2-inch spacer. Prior video shows that the 1-inch spacer will not work. I've added a heat shield on that to help with our today's poor fuel, to keep it from boiling over at heat. And then I've got a set of Hedman headers which fit very well. I don't have any numbers for that right now, but do a search. One of the reasons that I mentioned a truck block is this is very low compression. It's one of the things that's really holding this engine combination back, even though it is very nice. But we're probably down, estimates are around 40 to 45 horsepower if we were to get some decent compression on this. I have taken and modified the heads. If you care about it, it's one head is a casting number 781, the other is a 049. They're basically both the same head. But I've had the larger valves put in, the 2.19 on the intake and the 1.88 on the exhaust, and that really did did wake this up. Again, just waiting on some compression. That would really wake things up. But quite honestly, if I were to take and rebuild this, I'd want to put the same camshaft back in, but while I got it apart, why not do a roller? I've got a set of Edelbrock heads. They're already set up for a roller intake or a roller camshaft. It'd be tempting. And then I'd be putting out about 550 on the horsepower. Right now, my estimate. Right now, I estimate anywhere from 425 to 450, and we'll start it later so you can hear how it sounds. Here's the compressor for the air conditioning that doesn't work right now. Anyway, I've said enough about that. This has also got a turbo 400 transmission. It used to run a turbo 350 that lasted quite a few years. Hopefully, if I can find the footage, I'll do a video on what we had to do to swap out the turbo 350 to the turbo 400. The turbo 400 I sourced from my 72 Corvette, which you've seen in other videos. And thankfully I don't feel guilty about it at all, because once I pulled it out and ran the numbers, that was not the original transmission to the Corvette. I don't know what happened to it, but I was wanting to do a manual upgrade, to me, upgrade manual. So I've got a turbo 400 that I've done a B&M shift kit and put a JEGS torque converter in it, which I won't give you the part number because after I ordered it, it's about a 3200 stall. Very nice, very fun. But after I ordered it, and this is on me, turns out it's for a small block combination, not a big block. They don't recommend it. So right now it's working very well, but something that I'll need to change out at a later date. The rest of the exhaust is 2.5 inch, and if I can find that footage also, I will show the shop that did it. They've done quite a bit of exhaust work for me. I'm just not into exhaust. If you are, great. But got that, and then I've got a set of MagnaFlow mufflers, but it's 2.5 inch all the way back. As far as the rest of, one of the things that I did do to this as far as steering and suspension, and I highly recommend it, I swapped in a Jeep Cherokee box. Do a search on it. Monte Carlos and Chevelles, it works. It was a bolt-in except for the fluid fittings. I happened to get mine from Lee's Steering. I don't know if they're still in business or not, but they had the proper adapter, and it seemed to me like it was like $10, and the steering box itself was a couple of hundred. Boy, it made a difference. Now, if you're a fan of the single finger steering of the 70s cars, you won't like it, but it gives you a lot better road feel. But the rest of this is pretty much stock suspension. Let me go ahead and start the car up, and we'll end the video with hearing it idling, which is everyone always asks how it's going to sound.